I would like also actively watch like blogs and videos of like our top students and like some of your analysis videos. So like most of the strategies that I picked up from there, that also
Right.
helped. I really went through all my mistakes, like what exactly I was doing wrong, why I was doing it wrong. I think I realized that, and that helped me.
So Hima recently wrote the exam on 26th of February, got a score of 715. And you can absolutely see that each of the sections is above 90. This is not a requirement anymore, but this and Quant, it's 100 percentile. So, and this 705 and above is considered an absolutely fantastic score. This is 99th percentile, and 99th percentile with each section at 90 or above is good enough for you to sail through any school. So, first of all, let me just see whatever her performances are here. And then let me just stop this screen share and please start your camera, Hima. Hey, hi. Finally, we talked. So I remember I came to your college and you told me that maybe whether you're audible or not, can you speak something?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Okay, yeah, you're
Yeah.
audible. So I remember coming to your college and you said that in the thing that I gave in some questions to solve, those
Yeah.
questions went completely wrong for you. Why don't you recollect and recall that memory? What happened?
Yes, sir. So I initially like I got to know about the GMAT very recently then. So I was like, okay, I'll get to know more about this through the seminar. So I joined your seminar at my
Mm-hmm,
college. And so you discussed like some practice questions in the session.
mm-hmm.
I remember that specifically it was related to sentence correction, I think.
At that
Like
time,
some,
yes, yes, yeah.
yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
was like idioms and like you explained the difference like between little, a little, and like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
very basic stuff that a lot of people miss. So that was when I realized that there is a lot to learn and it's not.
Right. So let me just ask you a different question. I know some of the stuff that you did and how the course held, but let me start from by asking the exam day. Did you find something unusual or more difficult than what you would generally believe the GMAT to be? And did you find anything unusual or more difficult? You can
Um,
take us through sections also, please.
yeah. So I think the entire exam was almost as anticipated. Like it was more or less similar to like the official mock I took,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of like our top mocks too. But it's mostly like the exam pressure which got to me that like one certain passage. So my verbal section, it started with like first three questions were CR, and since I was relatively strong in CR, I felt confident with the first three questions that I did. As soon as I got my first RC passage, it was a little lengthy. It wasn't really tough. It was lengthy. It was about like farmers and landlords.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like, I don't know, it kind of, because of the length, it kind of got to me under the exam pressure. I mean, I would have solved that passage under normal circumstances, but exam pressure really got to me. So that was when my mind went completely blank and it took me a few minutes to get back. And I was like, okay, I'll try to eliminate here.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through the options. I realized that three of them, two or three of them could be directly eliminated because of the location-based thing
Mm-hmm.
that you taught us, that they weren't even related to the
Mm-hmm.
paragraph that the question was
Right.
about. So that really helped me that, okay, these two, three I could directly eliminate. So again, I went through the particular paragraph related to the question and I could directly get the answer from there. So I realized that, okay, I didn't need to be that scared of the question. It was easier when I kind
So
of like,
verification worked for you eventually, you say that
yeah,
event.
yeah.
And tell me more about the verbal section. The remaining, was it pretty usual and smooth? See, long passage we've been talking about. All our practice portal is only long passages, as you must have
Right.
noticed. A lot of it.
Right.
And you did mention that you did not have the time to do the entire thing. So the long sittings part of it you kind of missed, right? In the practice?
Yeah, I
Verbal.
only took the sectional and topic-wise tests mostly, so I couldn't get to the long sittings.
And the mocks also you didn't take all of them. Like on we have 8
I
extra mocks after the diagnostic. So just trying to understand.
Yeah, I took like after the diagnostic, I took 4 to 5 mock tests to mostly understand like which
Mhm.
order was working for me. So
Okay. You should have done the long sittings. If at all, then
right.
this scare also would probably not have happened. Right. What was the next section? Did you take your break after the first or the second section? Tell me that also.
Yeah, so I took my break right after verbal because I felt a little because of the scare that I got. I thought, okay, I needed to relax a little bit before I get to the next section. So I took my break. I went out, drank a sip of water, and came back, started DI next.
Okay. What was the DI? You told the portal DI was quite tough, and compared to that, your DI section was easier compared to the portal. Just share your experience, please, of the DI section then.
So actually, initially when I started DI, I was a bit scared because the multi-source reasoning questions, especially which I did on the portal, I was taking a lot of time to complete them because
Right.
to understand all the information and get to the questions, and each of the questions themselves had like three options.
Right.
So I was taking a lot of time. So that was when I actually went through one of your videos, like the
Mhm.
focus edition analysis. In that, you kind of mentioned that you can use the strategy if you're taking too long in multi-source, like
Reviewed
just
it, you can put it. Yeah.
yeah. So just looking at the particular tab which
Mm-hmm.
is related to the question, or maybe if it's taking too long, review and edit a few questions. So I kind of used that. That helped me, and
So you did not look at all the tabs then, you could only look at the relevant tabs. So it was fine. I mean, it wasn't too time consuming then.
yeah. On the test, the MSR was much easier than what I expected it to be.
And
Like
overall DI section, was it easier than what we make you practice on the portal? I mean, just asking because, yeah.
yeah, I would say a little easier. Like the first question, the first few questions were a lot easy, so I kind of have the impression that it was easy, but towards the end they got a little tougher. Overall, I mean, it was on a little easier than what I
Okay,
practiced.
great. And for the quant bit, did you make even one mistake? You must have got your detailed report, or was it like 100 percentile meant all right for you, or
Yeah,
any even?
I think I marked one thing wrong. I marked it for review and edit. I changed it back at the end.
And did you face any time pressure in any of the three sections at all?
Yeah, in verbal, I felt that a little more time. Like I kind of, I didn't pace myself right at the start, so I took a
Mhm.
lot of time in the beginning. So it kind of, I had to rush at the end a little.
So apart from the time management issues, did you feel that anything on the question side was unusual on the exam day? That this is something totally unknown, unusual at
No, no. I mean, all mostly all of the questions, more or less, I had an idea of because of the content, because of the like test portals. I mean, yeah, under normal circumstances, I'm pretty sure I could have done all of the questions too.
all right. Another, let's take your prep side. So what did you do for verbal? Let's, because that was your challenge section, as you said also. What was the prep strategy? Because I'm doing the verbal session only right now, RC.
Sure.
So this is like pretty apt to be discussing that as well. Just give me a full idea about how you managed RC, because RC is a challenge. In on the test day, it is a challenge for almost everybody. So how did you go about it? Which portion of the material did you focus more on? How did you use the portal? Everything for RC. Let's start from there, please.
Okay. So I started with, as mentioned in the study plan, I started with reading the octave theory from the RC guide. I started practicing the RC guide questions. Initially, I had to actively remind myself to use octave because I would use them for some and then I would go back to my intuition for some. That
Mhm.
really messed it up. So, and then so I sat down, I was like, okay, I have to use octave on these particular questions. And that kind of later got to me. It became a little subconscious.
Mhm.
And then I would watch the videos thoroughly, the explanations, and I got a lot of like pointers from the videos, which were like weren't very obvious. Like some like the location based thing that was like I learned from the videos that really
Mhm.
helped me, and like that. And then it later I started the session. So one thing I would like to mention is that I completed the entire pre-work
Mhm.
before I started the live class sections. So
Right.
that really helped me because I felt really confident after that. Like starting, I was panicking a lot at RC. So after I finished the pre-work, I felt confident enough that okay, now at least I can attempt questions
Right.
with better accuracy.
So the live class section of RCCR 126 must have been much easier for you after that.
Right. That was when I was going better, like my accuracy improved a lot. But that was when I realized that, like after the entire live class section, I realized that though my accuracy was fine, when I timed myself, when I started timing myself because of like the time
Mhm.
accuracy trade-off, there I was losing on accuracy again. So
Then what was the practice like? I mean, did you practice the 700, 800 document, official guides, etc. that we say, or directly went to the portal? Just give me an idea, because how to fix this verbal monster, you'll be the best person to tell in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt I should have done the 700, 800, but I directly went to the sectional tests because
Mhm.
I felt like I needed like the time to really pop
Mm,
up
mhm,
that, okay, I have this much time left. When I was like practicing questions, because I would like time myself like on my alarm, it would only let me know when the entire period is over. So I felt like, okay, I really needed to see the timer actively
right,
to
right,
get to get the exam feeling. So I
right.
started like the sectional tests, and I think that really helped me because after the first two tests I didn't do that well. I realized that, okay, I'm going really slow. Though I'm getting the answers right, I'm going really slow. So I completed the entire like sectional and
Mhm.
topic wise tests part for verbal, and that was when I realized that, okay, I'm at least improving a lot better. Like CR became pretty strong towards the end. RC, I still did struggle a little towards the
And the DI section, particularly the time, because I'm sure you would have understood all of DI very easily, but the time pressure. So
end.
was it still there towards the end, or were you able to tackle it after doing so many tests like in on the portal?
Yeah, I think it became much better. It became much better compared to like the pre-work TI that I did. I took a lot of time per question. And it took me a while to understand exactly how to tackle the questions because like for multi-source, it was like I would sit down and read all the tabs, which
Mhm.
wasn't really required to attempt it.
Right, right.
Yeah, so I got to know the approach after giving a few tests that, okay, and I would like also actively watch like blogs and videos of like our top students and like
Hmm.
some of your analysis videos. So like most of the strategies that I picked up from there, that also
Right,
helped
right.
me.
Great. Any advice you would have for people who are yet to write the exam? What should it be? Were you very consistent with the studies? Were you not? And what would you say if you were not? So do's and don'ts sort of thing. Please, some things.
Yeah, so I initially took up the course in September. I took a self-paced course because I thought, okay, I could do it at my comfort. But then I realized that I was procrastinating a lot. I started it finally in a structured manner in December. So I would really suggest do not push it towards the end. It will really get to you. Do not
So
panic
you
towards the
you
end.
started preparing only in December. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that
So only
was
2 months in a way.
2 or 3 months. Yeah,
Yeah.
three.
Okay. All
So
right.
yeah, do not push it towards the end. Be consistent. Do like especially like the RC 4 passages per day. I think that would really help you
Mm-hmm.
for anybody who's struggling with RC. Also, like starting the timed practice, I think you should start that as soon as you can because you'll see a lot of difference between what you're attempting without time. Like you will
Yeah.
obviously because all the techniques that you learn because they're like foolproof, you can apply. You'll obviously get the right answers if you take how much ever time you want. But the thing about the exam is that you'll have limited time, so really start practicing by timing yourself as soon as you can. Also, one tip that I think like an exam taking tip that would help you is that like really familiarize yourself with the environment, like go through the instructions or like watch some of our like top students videos on their exam experience. You'll get to know a lot of stuff that like for me especially it was like whenever I was giving the mock test and I kind of lost my cool, I would take a sip of water, and then that was only towards like the end that I realized that, okay, I mean, I wouldn't have that during the exam. So how would I cool myself down? So like those type of things that how exactly you're going to attempt your exam, like non-logistic stuff. So those stuff, if
Mm-hmm.
you kind of familiarize yourself, it'll be much smoother on the D-Day. And so while like after you take any test, I would really suggest that you sit down and analyze your mistakes because I did that. I did not like go through a lot of content. I went through limited content, but I think I did whatever I did really perfectly. I really went through all my mistakes, like what exactly I was doing wrong, why I was doing it wrong. I think I realized that, and that helped me.
So kind of error logging and then going through
Yeah.
analyzing more than error logging. I think
Yeah.
analyzing is right. Right. Perfect, right? All the way best for your applications. They must be coming up next month, and you must be busy. quite a lot right now. So great, man. I think deferred MBA is on the cards. Very, very good. M7, one of the M7s, surely. So we'll invite you once again. I'm sure it is on the cards. All right. See you then. Thank you for your time today. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you
Hima.
for having me. Thank you for having me. Bye.